Embracing change. Changes happen to us all the time, for the better or for the worse, right? I think it's our mindset and how we handle those changes that's going to really determine if indeed if it was for the better or for the worse. The option is always yours. It's Downtime episode 18. Let's hop in. Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Downtime is back again with another episode of Downtime. And here you have it, folks. It's episode 18, where we're speaking on embracing change. Changes, right? So change is happening all around us. So let's dive right in, man. So change, for example, for those of us, depending on where you're watching this in the world, but it was daylight savings time today, right? Woke up today and we sprung forward. Our clocks sprung forward, fall back, right? Whatever. So that was a change with itself. I mean, this thing happens all the time, yearly, annually, whatever the case is, quarterly, bi-quarterly, whatever. But changes, no matter how small or how big, right? Now, that's just on a minor scale, but change, it could be change in relationship, change in environment, change in employment, change in your surroundings as a whole. Change can be good or bad, right? We know that. Change can be good or bad. But like I was saying in the intro, your mindset towards that change, how you think towards that change, right? Your perception towards the change can really determine a lot. So it's like me personally right now, man, I like to embrace change. And I think this is, that, as I mentioned, of course, this title that I've been saying it since the beginning. This video is entitled Embracing Change, right? And this is for the one whose mindset is on forward progression. So like I said, this whole channel, I'm always speaking on your personal goals, your personal endeavors, whatever it is that you're trying to pursue and achieve. There's always going to be some type of obstacle, right? There's always going to be some type of hurdle that you need to get to. It's never going to be a smooth path to whatever it is you're trying to accomplish, right? So basically, I'm looking at it like this. There's always going to be some type of change that we have to encounter. And one, it's either going to make or break us. I always like to think that one, anything that you've ever been positioned with was meant to happen to you. I think I said that in the past video as well too. Anything, any circumstance or anything that you've ever been presented, it was meant specifically for you. For you to either learn, for you to either fail and get stronger, for you to take notes, for you to, So it's like that in itself is change sometimes. Sometimes the narrative that we think we're writing for ourselves can be so drastically shifted, and we'll be, maybe somewhat for a little while flustered or whatever the case is, and then come back and be like, well, nah, I needed that. I needed that to happen for me to get to where I'm trying to go. I learned from that experience. And then a lot of things I like to think of, man, sometimes changes, it's forever or it's temporary changes. And that could be in anything. I feel like I'm keeping this broad because I feel like change can happen in any realm, in any circumstance, in any happening of life, right? So there's changes. As we grow, we change, hopefully. Because I don't believe in complacency. I don't believe in being stagnant. So I hope we're changing for the better. We're evolving, right? That should always be the goal. Embrace it, though. Embrace it. Embrace the changes around you. Make mindful changes. I don't think there's nothing wrong with doing that either, man. Sometimes we look back at our situation and like, nah, man, this is not working for me no more. Whether it be employment, whether it be your surroundings, your people, your home state, whatever the case is, it could be whatever, man. Whatever your motivation is, that once you come to that self-defining realization that, yo, man, my current circumstance can be better. That's when you can now realize your mind almost starts to kind of formulate the steps needed to embrace or change that situation, if that makes sense, right? So change can be a good thing. Change doesn't always have to be bad. Yeah, there's circumstances where, oh man, things change for the worse. You know what I'm saying? But even at that situation, if you're any situation that you're in right now and you realize, man, hey, things got changed for the worse, well, what are you gonna do about it? I think we all have free will, right? We try to have free will in this world, depending on how you want to define it, but we all have free will to a certain extent. Let's say that. So it's like your reaction to the change can determine that. If you're not happy in your current circumstance, what are you doing about it? Are you complaining about it? Are you twiddling your thumbs? Or are you cooking up active plays to change that circumstance? Change don't gotta be forever in some situations. There's drastic changes. There's some changes that are permanent. There's some changes that are not, So I think it's your reaction. Again, like I said, I want to keep this broad because I feel like it applies to so many different things. Lifestyle changes, employment changes, relationship changes. Embrace the change. There's this video, I always see it on social media every now and again, and every time I see it, I always like save it, or it really hits home every time I see it. There's this video, you probably seen it. It's a clip of like Bruce Lee, famous martial arts actor or whatever he was, superstar. Bruce Lee has this saying where he always says, man, be like water. Be like water. He encourages the listeners and the viewers or who his audience was at the time to be like water. You put water in a cup, water becomes the cup. You put water in a kettle, the water becomes the kettle. You put water in a bowl, it becomes the bowl. And then he says, be like water, my friends. Right? And it's simple, but it hits home for me. Embrace whatever you should be able to adjust. Adaptability. You want to be able to adapt to any type of circumstance, good or bad. For the better, cool. For the worse, cool. It should be nothing to you. Be like water. Water can take the shape and form of any of its environment. You want to be able to adapt to any environment, any type of circumstance. I think it's important, man, just even as just humans, because the world is ever ending changing, right? It's always changing, I should say. It's always changing, right? The world in itself. So what once worked 10, 20 years ago, does it still work now? Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Your mindset 5, 10, 20 years ago then, does it still work now? Or do you have yourself having to adapt to the new ways of life, keeping up with the times? So it's important to embrace change, man. I think it's important that the things that we come across, the circumstances, don't let them define you. You define them. Right? I think that's important, man. If anything you take away from this is, man, the changes that you are faced with, you still have the ability to let it make or break you. You still have the ability to come across like, all right, cool. Well, this is not my new circumstance. How does it make me feel? And if it's in a negative form, what can I do about it? Immediately, your mind should start generating ideas of how you can change your circumstance. Only embrace the change if it's a change that is positive for you. If any change that is ever presented to you is not one of positivity, you, my friend, should have the ability to change it. And just ending and closing, man, God's not ever going to bring something to you that you can't handle. I'm going to close on that because that's what I honestly feel. I live by that. I feel like anything that you ever been presented with, it was meant to be presented to you. So whatever your current change is right now, it's either going to make or break you, or it's either going to teach you something that you need moving forward. So remember that anything that you've ever been faced with, you can handle. And even if it is going to break you, you're going to learn from that break. As long as you're still breathing, as long as you're still blessed with the breath of life each day, oh, my friend, it could get better. But that's what that is, man. Just some food for thought as always, man. It's Sunday. It's a new week ahead of us. March is here, closing out first quarter. It's important that we keep our mind solid into the progression of the new year. So that's what it is, man. You heard it here from your boy Don Thomas, signing out from another episode of Downtime. It's episode 18. Hope you enjoyed. Like, subscribe, follow. Always a pleasure. Always greatly appreciated. Y'all take care. Peace.